playing Elves. William Lowe playing Miracles. We'll update you on the board state here. Lowe with 5 lands in play, spinning a top here and placing his cards back. Smith with a Dryad Arbor, a Quirion Ranger, an Elvish Visionary. You see the Cradle along with a couple of lands. Smith is attacking here yet again. This feels like a Terminus. What do you think? Oh, I'm wrong. Is it just a Swords? It is just a Swords.
Oh, that's not nearly as bad.
Yeah, especially because Quirion Ranger can pick that up. I don't think that went according to plan.
Probably not.
Smith gonna take a look here.
And Brandon Smith we had on camera very early on in the tournament.
Yep.
Losing to Glenn Jones.
Elish Norn, heck of a card. Play and spin top. Looks like mostly rubbish there. So it looks like Lowe was tricked there by the Quirion Ranger. We have seen that happen before, however. Looks like this may be a brainstorm here. Yep. So now top will be added, a couple cards here as well. There's a fetch land among those cards. And Lowe's a pretty low 5. So fetch lands aren't free right now.
He's digging pretty furiously right now.
Gotta imagine it's for Terminus, right?
Yeah. And I think we're going to see a shuffle here and an attempt to find it.
Smith gonna sacrifice Mr. Rainforest. He has a Dryad Arbor in his hand. We're not sure if there's one hiding out in the graveyard, but he sacrificed very quickly. So wouldn't be surprised if he does find another one. So gonna keep these mediocre beats on.
Yeah, Williams at 5.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Yeah, mediocre gets it done here. That fetch land, that's a point. You know, this all adds up.
So Smith will draw. In for 3 we go again. Lowe gonna sacrifice. He's gonna go down to 4. In desperate need of a Terminus to maybe sure things up here a little bit. Not sure if he's played any yet this game, but he needs one right now.
Doesn't really look like there's any in the graveyard.
So a hefty shuffle and a spin. 2, 3. I don't think we like what we see there. Looks like a couple lands, maybe a counterbalance.
Yeah, he's stuck next turn. I mean, he can't shuffle off the fetch here if he's fallen to 1.
Yeah, so he gets one more look. Yeah. And this is always the feeling that Elves has when they're doing this. It's just like, please don't hit.
Yeah.
I can't commit anything else to the board. So I'm hoping you don't hit here. See Low down to 1, so no more fetch lands this game. You're gonna play the other Arbor. Oh, we already know what the top card is. So now we just get to look 1 card deeper. So either the third card's a Terminus or it's not. That one went to the top. Now he's gonna shuffle it around. So I don't think that is a Terminus, but I mean, I could be wrong.
I think this is a dead man.
Yeah. Smith gonna look at things here. Don't think the play changes too much. I suppose he could pick up one of these right now.
Some insurance, yeah.
Yeah. Take a draw. There's a Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, and hope for the best. Okay, that's going to get it done. So Brandon Smith is very excited to win game number 2 here. That means we're going to head to a third one between Blue White Red Miracles and Elves.
Yep. Always harrowing. And William there with the Terminus there, right.
Was it the next one down?
Yeah, it was the next one
It always
down.
is, isn't it? That's just how it works. Well, well, well. Game number 3 here between Elves and Blue White Red Miracles. A matchup I still think is favored for Miracles.
For sure. You know, Elves can definitely still do its thing. I mean, they can get explosive draws. Blue White Red Miracles can be a little slow out of the gates, but access to Terminus plus counter spells, very hard to beat. Now, post-board, with access to Abrupt Decay, discard spells, and so forth, can be a little bit different. But game one is such an uphill battle that it's hard to make it all up in games 2 and 3.
Well, we're going to take a look at the sideboards here very quickly. I'm going to start with Brandon's, even though he will be on the draw. 3 copies of Ball Therapy, 3 Thoughtseize, a Scavenging Ooze, a World Spine Worm, a Sylvan Library, Natural Order, Kosali Pride Mage, 3 copies of Abrupt Decay and Progenitus. Abrupt Decay is obviously the easiest place to start.
Yep.
Because of counterbalance. Kosali Pride Mage also seems pretty good here as well. Like Sylvan Library with the potential to go long. I think the thing that's interesting, here is how much discard do you bring in, because the lifespan of that seems to be relatively low. It's good on the first couple turns of the game, but once you're under the lock of counterbalance plus top, it does nothing.
And the deck is so good at concealing cards in its hand with Brainstorm and Jace and so forth.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee. I still think you want some of the discard spells. You certainly want the Abrupt Decays, I think, to try to break the lock. But maybe you don't want all 5. Maybe you just want the Thoughtseize and not the Cabal Therapies, for example.
Okay.
I can believe that being the case.
Okay. What do we see on Miracle's side?
2 copies of Red Elemental Blast, a Power Blast, 2 Flusterstorm, 2 Rest in Peace, a Wear Tear, a Vendilion Click, a Pithy Needle, Sulfur Elemental, an Engineer Explosives, a Relic of Progenitus, and Entreat the Angels, and a Supreme Verdict. Not a lot here. I like the Verdict, the Engineer Explosives, and the Pithy Needle, but not a whole lot else.
Still think it's favorable for Miracles.
Yeah.
And we'll be on the play. And whoever does win this match gets the pleasure of trying not to die to Lightning Bolt.
Yep. One of these players is much better equipped than the other for this.
That is certainly true. Still can't believe Burns in the finals. It's just awesome. It really is. I can see the appeal to that deck. I like watching him play.
Oh, obviously.
I would have liked to see Belcher move on.
Of course.
Selfishly.
No, it's, you don't have to apologize for it. We all have our sentimental attachments to various legacy strategies. And Belcher I like quite a bit.
Thank you.
I do.
It's about time someone showed some love.
There's a fearlessness about it that I really appreciate.
One of these days, man, Dredge is going to have to rear its ugly head again. I don't know when it's going to be.
I mean, we've seen Manaless Dredge here from time to time. But the classic Dredge list, we haven't seen, I think, post a good performance in quite a while.
Yeah, breakthrough or anything like that. Honestly, I don't think that we've had Dredge do anything like typical Dredge all year on the Open Series.
I think that might be true. I'm really struggling to think of the last time we had classic Dredge in the elimination rounds.
Because over the previous years, the talk would always be about, well, Dredge is going to rear its ugly head somewhere.
Yep.
And win a tournament, and then everyone will fix that and play some graveyard hate like they're supposed to, and then Dredge will go away for another 3 or 4 months. But, we said that, I think, at the beginning of the year, and that never came to fruition.
Yeah, well, a big part of the problem, I think, is Deathbright Shaman is a challenging card to play against game 1. It's not going to win the game on its own, but supplemented by other stuff, it's pretty hard to beat. And Deathbright Shaman, of course, all over the place.
Now that I've had the opportunity to play with Deathrite Shaman, I've been playing decks that have Deathrite Shaman in Legacy a little bit, and just some pickup games in between rounds, and playing it in Bug, Fish, and Vintage. I get it.
It's quite potent.
I get it. It's really good. Wow. Come on with that card.
It's really good.
I was really angry about it before, and I think justified to be angry with it having 2 toughness and 3 abilities and easy to cast in every deck.
The second point of toughness is unnecessary. Whenever I see it moding 1/1s, I'm just saying why. Why also this?
I believe my anger was justified. However, I have come to the dark side.
It's how it happens for all of us,
A mana accelerant that can kill my opponent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I like it. I've embraced it, and I look forward to playing it in the future.
It's just fetch lands, dude. They're the real criminal.
That's probably true.
You can put Deathrite Shaman in all sorts of formats where you don't put lands in your graveyard for free all the time. It would barely even be a card. And actually, current standard is a good indicator of that.
That's
Deathrite
really
Shaman sees like a little bit of play from time to time.
Yeah.
But not really a card.
But playing with it in ridiculous formats is sweet. And
Yeah.
I like it.
Sure.
And I don't ever really want to go back. Sometimes you learn the error of your ways. Maybe it's just because Goblins has no good cards, but also Deathrite Shaman has 3 abilities and 2 toughness and is easy to cast.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Another secret blue card.
Yeah, true. That is true.
I wonder if they ever had the meeting, like the secret gathering of not publicly blue cards, but actually blue cards. Survival of the Fittest, Eternal Witness, Oath of Druids, Fast Bond.
It's like blue in testing, and they switch it.
Yeah. All those cards just hang out and talk
Let's
about.
just make Dismember black. Seems like a black card.
Yep. Oh, Dismember's hanging out in that meeting too.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
Take a mulligan here, Will Smith. That's one of my favorites. That one. I'm not really good at the, like the design mistakes, and I'll never be an R&D stuff like that because it just doesn't really. My brain doesn't work that way. But when I saw Skull Clamp, I'm just like, this shouldn't be a thing. But that's really obvious.
Most tragic mistakes that are now again, you can't judge Alpha, Beta, Arabian Nights. The understanding of power level was really low back then.
Of course.
I mean, you have the R&D team regularly thought that Sarah Angel was too powerful to reprint, and they printed Library of Alexandria, reprinted Necropotence and Corsets and stuff like that. So, but in terms of modern mistakes, almost all of the real tragedies come with changing a card at the last minute. Umezawa's Jitte, Skull Clamp, all last-second R&D changes.
I just remember when I saw Dismember and the first time it was cast, I was like, no, this should not be a thing.
Yep.
That card's sweet too, though. That card's actually in the vintage deck I'm playing right now. That's how good it is.
Kills a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Kills Tarmogoyf.
Is Tarmogoyf a thing you need to kill in vintage?
Yeah, it gets played in Bug.
Okay.
It's just a big jerk.
Have you blood braided into,
Easy.
Mox Ruby yet?
Not yet, no. No, not just yet. One of these days. This is a green Sun's Zenith. Imagine this is going to get Dried Arbor. So a little bit of acceleration here for Smith. Low with no top. I think that's the most important thing right now.
That is really important. The top is to me, that's the whole deck, is that card.
Yeah, I said this a lot last week in the Invitational. I don't think it's the most powerful card in the deck, but I think it's the best card.
Yeah.
Which is like a weird thing to say.
The most powerful card in the deck is Brainstorm.
Yeah.
But Divine Top is the straw that stirs the drink.
Ah, yes, the naked counterbalance. Time to play the game. Got to sacrifice right now, Will Smith. Gonna go down to 18, search up a land here. This is Savannah. This is 3 mana, maybe a Zenith again. It's be for 2. Oh, counterbalance trigger. Assuming we remember. There it is. Ah, jeez. Jeez.
Heartbreak.
There is no worse feeling. It does not exist.
Well, this is counterbalanced perhaps the way R&D thought it was going to get played.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that.
Yep. So that gets countered. Vendilion click on the top of the deck. That'll be the draw for the turn for low as well. It's always such a beating when naked counterbalance counters something. It's just unbelievable. There's Naird Mesa pass the turn back.
And this may be a pretty fast game. I mean, Williams in a position maybe just to go turbo beatdowns here with this Vendilion click.
Yep. Smith has a glimpse here. Might try to lead off with that, yeah. Well, time to check for blackjack. Oh, okay. I thought that was a 1. I thought that was a 1 actually. Glimpse is good. Snapcaster formation on top of the deck means the green light is on here to cast some creatures. So there's a Deathrite Shaman. Now we could see low sacrifice the fetch land to try to reset the counterbalance, but opting not to do that.
And this is not a good sign for Brandon here. I think he's dead-ended.
Yep. Come on in, Dried Arbor. Show him who you are. Gonna put low down to 19. There's a land for the turn, the Misty. Looks like it might be a secret Dried Arbor. Yeah, Smith's hand right now is really bad. He's got 2 lands, one of which is a Guy's Cradle and then a Crater of Behemoth. He's got some real work to do to get back in this one.
And Williams' hand is excellent here. And it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't click there if he was willing to just cast Supreme Verdict right now. He's not even that far away from being able to snapcaster Supreme Verdict, run it back.
I feel like he might be able to get some more value out of the Verdict. Because like, this is going to search for presumably another copy of Dryad Arbor. You don't have to worry about those later on in the game.
Well, natural order for Craterhoof has to be something you're concerned about here. I guess he's pretty far away from getting killed by that 9, 10, 11, 12, 17. I don't know. It's a lot of damage still. I wouldn't get that. You know what I mean? It's a risk.
So Smith draws his turn. Abrupt Decay. That's just okay.
Yeah, Counterbalance has already done some work, but
Beatdowns, perhaps?
I mean, Brandon can just. I think he could Cradle and Hoof this turn if he was feeling frisky.
So he could play Cradle and it would tap for 3, but nothing exciting would come from it. You know, like
Yeah.
he Cradles and activates Death Right to make the necessary mana to cast Hoof, and then it's an attack for some amount of damage. Like that, I don't think I do not think that's that exciting of a turn.
Yeah.
Here's a Misty. I think we're gonna see Verdict now.
Yep. Well, now he is definitely dead to Craterhoof.
Yeah.
So he's got a Supreme Verdict now. Because he has no protection for it in hand, in fact.
Plus, I think what's on the board is good enough to kill.
Yeah. You don't have to get that much more than this.
And there's your 4 mana. There's your Supreme Verdict. So Smith's gonna look at the graveyard, figure out something to remove here from Deathrite Shaman. And there goes Glimpse. So Low will take 2 more. Down to 14. And now Supreme Verdict will take care of 3 creatures. There's a Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn back. Abrupt Decay is going to clear that out of the way. Going to reveal. Show a Jace.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like revealing there. Like I imagine there's a...
Oh, he has a fetch line in play. He may want to shuffle.
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, I take it back. I take it back. I was going to say I believe there's probably a casual nature to the match, but yeah, he may want to shuffle, so that makes more sense.
Yeah.
There's another fetch land. Jace on an empty board?
Seems good to me.
Jace on an empty board. Stays at 3. Let's brainstorm. 3 lands. Those probably aren't of much interest.
Whenever I see a Jason play in the board table, I just want to start going upstairs.
Yeah, just start face sealing.
Just start lava spiking them, yeah.
Let's put you to bed.
Yeah.
That's just that aggressive nature.
I know, I can't help
Yeah.
it. I'm not saying it's correct, I just can't help it.
Scalding Tarn going to get sacrificed here for Low. Down to 13 he shall go. And Jace is just going to keep on working. Been a really one-sided game. Again, this matchup just feels really in favor of Miracles.
Yeah, there's too many sweepers,
Yeah.
and counterbalance divining top is also a problem.
And now Jace is here to control the draw step or make Williams' draws better. Has had a Vendilion Click for a very long time that he's opted not to cast. Here's another Brainstorm. Sensei's top has been found. There's a Terminus.
Yeah, he's got all the pieces now.
Now it's about dealing 17. Because I think that something would have to seriously go wrong here for William. There's a top with 2 fetch lands in play. Smith will draw a card. Copy of Green Sun Zenith. The Zenith will be for 2. I kind of like forcing this. I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything too dangerous for him to go get. Yeah, if
I mean, he's going to get Visionary. I think that much is pretty obvious, but do you want your opponent, because it's very clear that that's the only thing that the opponent has to do this turn. So are you okay with just, 1/1 body plus cantrip?
it feels hard to imagine that the Visionary makes enough of an impact to warrant using one of your few counterspells.
Another glimpse drawn here for Smith. Logan has been a top. There's a terminus, a flooded strand, and it
Intrigue.
a way to win the game.
This should be. I would imagine this is going to be a kill.
Yeah, gonna draw, play a fetch land. You can just do it on the end of turn.
Oh, sure, yeah.
No reason to expose right now. Yeah, you're gonna fate seal here. Make sure the coast will be clear. And then in turn, he can draw a card with top and treat the Angels for the full amount. Entreat's a really interesting card to me in this deck because, you know, there are some games where that's the card it wins that no other card would win. The best example of this is Reed Duke versus Tom Strong at the Invitational, where no other card gets the job done. Now, how many of this card are you supposed to play? I think that's a really interesting question. A lot of people are playing 2 in the main, 1 in the board. Is it even necessary when you can just win with Jace?
Well, the big thing that I think that it adds to the deck is the ability to kill out of nowhere and to kill quickly, especially in time, which is a big factor in live Magic. Even if you are in the air about whether or not you want Entreat just in the abstract, the fact that it allows you to win matches inside of the allotted time is a big deal.
There's a glimpse from Brandon. Spinning top here. Gonna leave Terminus on top, it looks like.
Yeah, if things get haywire, he can do that, and if they don't, he still has enough to entreat.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't a situation, I think, where Lowe needs to get too fancy. I think he's got the game won. There's a Birchlore Ranger. Draw a card. And the other thing Lowe can do is just, okay, exhaust all your mana. Sure. Entreat. Kill you.
Yeah.
Pass. Vendilion Click. Guess I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he has it.
Yeah.
Has him.
I don't think there's a single card, especially when you have access to the deck list, for why you wouldn't entreat here on the end of turn. You're going to look at the top cards again and leave them on top very quickly. And now he's going to cast Terminus.
I guess just double checking to make sure the coast is clear.
So now Vendilion's going to go to the bottom. That's going to clear a lot of things up. And now Jace is going to Fate Seal. Thinking about keeping this card on top or not.
I'm surprised he kept Glimpse in hand. It feels like one of the very few cards that Brandon has in his deck that's Force of Will worthy.
Smith is going to take a draw to copy a Green Sun Zenith. Brandon trying to figure out how he should sequence his spells here. I think this is just another Glimpse turn.
Yeah.
It's not a great one, and his chances of winning the game are very, very low, but I think this gives him the best opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, I don't really know what else his hand permits him to do. I mean, he does have the Zenith, I guess, now to maybe try to get something going, but...
Yeah, I mean, Zenith for Visionary is a line of play. We've seen this earlier from Brandon. Again, if you're William, you just have the ability to win the game.
Yep.
I don't really think there's much of a reason to pass that up. Here's Glimpse. You see Lowe just shrugs his shoulders. There's Deathrite. That'll trigger. Elvish Visionary. 2 mana. Double cantrip. There's draw 1. See if this resolves. Does. This is draw 2. Metal Sentinel has been found. Pass the turn. And there it is. Entreat the Angels. Sacrifice all those fetch lands. Make a bunch of 4/4s.
I believe this will do it.
It should be for 5. It can be for 5 Angels. So even if there was somehow, you know, if you made it for 4 and there was an Abrupt Decay available, that would have caused an issue. But that's not something that can occur right now. So there are your 3 lands. There's your whites. There's your 5 Angels. And in just a moment, William Lowe is going to win this match and have to square off against Byrne.
Oddly enough, I think probably the toughest of the 3 matchups he's had in the elimination rounds.
Yeah, Blue, Red, Delver, and then Elves look to be a cakewalk thus far. So assuming we do have 5 Angel tokens coming. Smith is going to sit here stoically and take his damage. That is going to do it. William Lowe is going to win this match over Brandon Smith. 2-1. Blue Red Miracles does defeat Elves, and it moves on to the finals to play against as many burn spells as it can handle.
Very graceful in defeat there, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Tough matchup. It's unfortunate we've had him on camera twice, both times as a loser, but a great tournament for him, obviously.
Yeah, only losses at the tournament each time he's been on camera, so maybe we should keep him away.
Perhaps.
Who knows? Either way, that's going to do it for our semifinal round, so I know we do need to bring it back to the booth here. Make sure